Um, Good day, everyone. Welcome to my channel. So, today we are going to be doing um, a very nice background effect like this. You can use this on your welcome page, or you can use it to practice, or something like that, whichever one. So, something that looks nice like this. So, you can also see the when I remove it from desktop mode, so it look a way bigger. So it's just simple stuff to do. So let's get started. So this project, or this background effect, is just two things, which is HTML and CSS. That's the two language, or the tools, what two things we use for this project. So that's the only thing we need. So we are going to get started. So now the first thing we're going to do, we are going to go to our project, create a new project. So I'm going to go to my workspace. I'm using a mobile application which is known as spec, SPCK editor. So it's a very nice editor for mobile phones. Can use it. It runs both anything you think of. It has normal JavaScript, it has Express, it has TypeScript, it has Bootstrap, and other JavaScript library, even DB, Vue, React, and Angular, as much more. But for this project, we are not going to do all this. It's just a simple HTML. So we're going to click on HTML. So if you are using maybe a desktop application, what you just need to do is just open. Maybe you are using um, VS Code, or you are using um, Sublime Text, Atom, or whichever one. So you create a folder. So this project, I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to give it a name of um, background effects. Background effects. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna click on create. So this editor that I'm using have already created the background effect, and it has created a file name index.html. It has created main.js, that is for the JavaScript, and style.css. So under our main.js, we are going to type some code for to this thing, but don't forget we are not making use of JavaScript, so I'm going to get rid of the JavaScript linking and the P. So make sure that is empty. So come here, we'll give it a title, say cool background effects. So that's what I'm gonna do. So that is all. It has already been linked to our style sheet, so that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this JavaScript file because we are not using it. So I click on delete. So we only have two files there, which is index.html and style.css, which are already linked together. So now we're gonna go straight to our code. So to get started, we have a project. We want to create um that nice background effect we just see. So how to go ahead to do something similar to that, or something like that? First of all, we're gonna create a div. So we're gonna create a div. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a class name of clip. So giving it a class name of clip. So now this clip is what is going to be clipping those background, like a stage light, stuff like that. Then the next one is div. Still another div again. So this one too, we're gonna give it a class name of back image. Back image. So that is for the background image. So there's nothing should be there. We're not putting any image there. So I'm gonna write text on the background, which is our Wisting technology. So I'm going to create a div h1. Then I'm going to type Wisting technology. Then I'm gonna create h2, and I'm going to type the just simple quote there, the home of comics. So that is it. Then we're gonna do a button. Okay, we don't need any this thing right now, isn't for anything, just simple button. So maybe if you want to link it on our page, you know that you're not using button, you're going to use an a tag. So I'm just using button for this tutorial. So just put get started. So, and that's all. So when we run this, let's look how it looks like. Well, it looks some kind of nice, manageable. So I'm gonna remove it from this thing and put it on desktop mode. So I'm gonna pinch it. So this is how it looks like on a desktop. So we're gonna go to our CSS and start our styling. So starting from the body, we are going to start editing from the body. So if we want to start, we're going to leave this thing, although this default style that was there, which is font size 15 pt, so I don't have issue with that. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to put our back image. To put our back image, so we are starting with our back image, which is this guy here. We are starting with our back image. So let me clear space. Oh shit. Control Z. Let me clear space. Okay. So this place where my cursor is standing, that's the place we are going to be working with. So that is going to be our background image. Now we'll come to our style, then we'll call the dot back image. Good. So sorry, what am I doing? Mistake. I've forgotten that I was writing it as if I'm calling something in JavaScript. Okay, so width, we're gonna give it a width of 100%. Let us put it in percentage. So I take the full width of the screen. Then the next one is height. So our height is gonna be 700 pixels to some certain height of the screen. You can make it full screen. That is making height like 100 vertical height, VH. So want it to be at the back, like back. So we're gonna have Z index. I click on this Z index, then we are going to put it to -5 and we'll close it there. Then we're gonna position it absolute position so that the guy will float on this thing. It won't interfere with the main clip, because the clip always clipped its background, so we don't want it to clip the background. So the next thing is let's see how it's gonna look like, but without this we cannot say anything, so we need to put our image there. So let's insert an image. So I'm going to come here and I want to import an image, so come to this place and I'm going to import, sorry, what am I doing? Import file. Okay, so I'm going to look for a file to import. Okay, I think I have not used this. Let me try using this. So I'm going to rename it to something simple because I don't have time to be typing this. So I'm gonna call it 1.jpg. So background image, let's put background there, because if we put yeah, the background image is okay. You can still use as, because I'm gonna use it with other things. So I'm gonna give background image URL, so to link that image there. So I'm gonna call the image is 1.jpg. So let's see how it's gonna look like. Okay, so this is how it looks like really this is how it looks like. But you notice that the background is repeating, so we're gonna say background, the background should not repeat, so we're gonna say background repeat, background repeat, set it to no repeat. Yeah, background size, set it to cover. Okay, then the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to make the background a little bit dark, because that image is interfering with the text and all that, so we're going to make it dark. So we'll make it completely separated from the distance. So we're going to say linear gradient, still on the same path we create the image. So curly, then we're gonna set it to right. You can put it anything, because we are not gonna use it, so put a comma there. Then we're gonna put RGBA, red, green, blue and alpha, for those colors that we need transparency or want them to be transparent. So I'm gonna set it to a dark color. Black is always 0, 0, 0. Then we'll set the opacity to 0.6. Okay, then we'll go over to the next one. Still the same thing, RGBA. So still 0, 0, 0. You can put any other color there, don't have issue with that. 0.6. I think that's okay. Later on I might change it if I want it to be more darker than that. So I need to separate it from the former one. So let's see how it's gonna look like. Okay, now it's kind of dark, so I can see what is there. I think this look nice. Now you notice that there's a space up here, so we want to get rid of that space. So come to our body and gonna give it a margin of 0 and a padding of 0. So let's run that. That's nice. So that's for this other one. Then there are other things we need to add. So we need to set the position to absolute. After setting the position to absolute, now we can't just leave it like that because we want to move things. So now that we have done all that, we're gonna go to the next part, which is this clip here. That means this one here. So we want to style this guy. So come to the clip, put dot clip. So now we are not going to clip this guy directly, because if we clip this guy directly, this background image is going to be affected. The background image is going to be affected, so we are not clipping it directly. So we're going to say width, so we're going to give it a width, the same thing like the background image, 100%. 100%. We're gonna give it a height too of 700 pixels. Good. Then I'm gonna give it a position like the other one of absolute. Good. Then we're gonna give it a z index of, set it to 0, so it should be on top. This clip should be on top the back image, even if the back image is a child to the clip. So, and that is that. Then the next thing is gonna do is we are gonna create another clip out of thin air. It's just simple, just putting dot clip there. Then we're gonna put a before to add something to it. Before, so that before we're gonna style it. So this is the before. The before is the one that is going to do the clipping for us. So we're gonna set the content to something empty, so nothing is there. Can just put drop on the space there. So then the position should be absolute. Then the index, z index, should be -1. Then we have top 0. Okay. We have left also should be 0. Shit. So we have right, so we are positioning it so that it should stretch, like stretch out without giving any shifting to any point. So bottom 2 should also be 0. Now the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to add the image and we are going to set it to a default clip. So let us add the image. So the background image is going to be the same, so we're going to put background. So background, we're going to put URL. Okay, there's a mistake here, so let me correct that. I don't like seeing all these red things. It's kind of annoying. So background image URL, so like 1.jpg JPEG. So let's play that and see how it looks like. Okay, so it's kind of on top the other one and it's repeating, so we're still going to copy this code here. So we're going to copy this. We don't want a repeat, and we want the size to be covered. So close this, go to next it and paste it there. Okay, so I think this. Okay, so this background here is what we are going to clip. We are going to clip that background. So let's set a default clip. So I'm going to come to my max node. I'm gonna copy a clip shaped there. So I'll pick one of the clip shape I have here. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna come to this my editor. I'm gonna paste it. So if you want to get those clip to use, you want to create your own clip, it's very simple. The link and description for the clipping generator is there. So now I've clipped some part of the distance, and this is how it looks like. So you want to do a clipping, it's very simple. The link is on the description below, so you click on that link and you get to the site that helps you to generate a clip. Then you can generate any kind of clip. There are many clips you can generate that looks amazing, so you can generate as much as you can. So but for this tutorial sake, we are not going to do, but the link is here already. So and even you want the source code for this project, the link also is also in the description below. So please you can check the description and get to download the source code. So now the next thing is, we should not forget that we want to animate this clip. We don't want it to be static like that one on the screen, so we want to animate it. So we're gonna create animation name. We're gonna call it cool. I need something simple like that. So this is the name I've given to my animation, so it's simple as cool. So animation duration. So how long did I want? Sorry, not direction, I mean duration. How long I want this animation to run. I think 4 seconds is okay. 4 seconds. So the next thing is, like, how did I want it to animate? Is it gonna animate to the end, then is it going to stop there, or is it going to animate and still reverse its animation? So I'm going to use what does that is animation direction. So I'm gonna set it to alternate, so it's gonna alternate, so going up and going down. Then I'm gonna set the count. How many times did I want the animation to happen? So that is known as animation iteration count. So animation iteration count. So I'm gonna set it, I want it to happen for everlasting, so I'll put infinite. So that's going to tell the animation to run continuously. If I set it at 5, that is going to run 5 times. So I want it to happen continuously. Animation play states running. That was not really, but let's just try animation fill mode. Animation fill mode. um, both both simply means forward and backward. So it's going to run forward and it's going to run backward. So then the next last thing for the animation we want to add is animation timing function. So animation timing function, I want it to be easy in, easy out. So it's gonna go in easily and come out easily. I don't want, so that's for the animation. So right way, we're gonna go into the animation. So we're gonna animate it. So um I'm gonna call the function, so at keyframe, so at keyframes, so I'm gonna put the name, which is the cool. That's the name of my animation. So I'm not that I'm working with cool. So now animation runs at different stage. Is either you start from um to and from, or you run it based on percentage. But I'm going to run it based on percentage because I have many things to look through. But if I'm using to and from, that means I only have two animation. I want only two animation steps to take place, but I'm going to run it with percentage. So I'm starting from at 0 percentage. At 0 percentage, so at 0 percentage, I think, let me paste Control B. At 0 percentage, I want this to run. Then 20 percentage, so I'm gonna go to my this thing to copy another um, generated clip I've created. So I'll look for time to create a tutorial on this, how to figure out a clip. So all these numbers there, you know how to figure them out yourself without a generator. So just subscribe to my channel and click to all notifications so that whenever I drop any tutorial, you'll be notified. So this is this, so not forget to add the tail there. So the next thing is, that is for 20. So after 20 we have 40 percentage. So I'm going to still copy another one from Notepad. So now I'm gonna paste that. So I'm gonna do for 60%, 60%. So I'll still go to the Notepad, copy, another amazing one. So gonna paste it there. Good. So the next one is 80%. So still gonna copy this. So then the last one is gonna be 100. I think as I don't have anyone that runs on um a triangular shape, so for me not to cut the animation running, I'm just going to make changes to the code, to the one I have here. I'll set this to, I set this to 100%. I'm gonna set this to 100%. Shit. Okay, so let's run it and see how it looks like. Okay, so this look kind of nice. Okay, wow. So I hope this effect looks cool. So let's see how it looks like on this. Okay, still look nice. Nice one. Okay, so now that we have done this effect, now the next thing we are going to do is we are going to style our font starting from our H1. So we're going to style the H1. So we are done with our animation. So H1. So our H1, we're just going to increase the font size. We'll set it to 2 so just to make it look kind of big, so I'm gonna give it a color. I want color of, I think that plum is making sense. This color looks nice, kind of. Then we're gonna give it a text shadow. Text shadow, we have 3 pixels. So 3 pixels, that is right to left. I'm moving it to right now. I'm moving towards the right side. Then when I say 2, I'm bringing it downward. So 2, that is the shadow. I want it to come downward, right downward. Then I want the texture of the shadow to be blur, kind of blur, so I can put it at 3 pixels. So you can also increase it by adding another figure to it. So you can just put like 2 or 3, so it's going to increase the shadow to some certain extent. So I'm going to set it to maybe white smoke. So let's see how it looks like. Nice, kind of nice, but the color is kind of somehow. So let me check for another color, or instead of using white, let me put black. Yeah, and that should make it look a little big. Yeah, this black is okay. Black is okay, like really okay. Okay, so that's for the head, this thing, whatever. We don't need to position the bottom to anything. because it's kind of aligned. So the next thing we're gonna do is the H2. So we're gonna style that too. So styling the H2, we're gonna set the color. I want the color to be kind of let me call it white. Let me see how it looks like. Okay, and my mind is telling me that this will need, we need some kind of this thing, shadow at the back. So I'm gonna copy this, control copy, come to this side and press Ctrl V. So let's run it. That's how it looks like. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, it's not really affected, so I can increase the space. So let me put it around that 4 pixels. So let me see how the shadow is gonna look like. No shit, like it disappears totally. So let me make it 20. I don't know what I'm doing. Huh? I prefer it the other way. So let me return it back. Okay, so it's okay this way. So that's what we're gonna do for the H2. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make it kind of italics. So italics, font, font style, I want it to be okay. So the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to I think we should add um, margin left, margin left of 5 pixels. Okay, I think that's okay. So I'm gonna copy this, control copy, then control V, so both of them will be at same position. So I think that is that for this tutorial. We can also add this thing, but we are not done. So we're gonna add I think we need the background, the button. Okay, that's the next now is left. So we're gonna put button. So we just call it normal button. So we give it a width of 400 pixels, 400 pixels. So we're gonna give it a height of 100 pixels, height of 100 pixels, and I'm gonna give it an outline. We don't want the outline because button always come with its default outline, so we don't want to set it to none. So we'll give it a border or border styling. So the border styling is gonna be let me say 2 pixels, no, 3 pixels, solid, plumb. So give it a color, want the text color to be white. Then I want the font size. I want the font size to be around 2 kind of big, right? Then font width, I want it to be bold. I want to bold the font. Bold. Okay. Then the next thing is I want the background of the button. We don't want a background color, so set it to transparent. Okay. Then I don't want that position where it is, so I'm going to position it absolute so that it floats. Then when I haven't positioned it absolute, I'm going to set the top position. I'm gonna bring it kind of down, because if you look at it now, actually when you look at it, the button is somewhere here, so we don't want it that place. We want it to be somewhere here. So I'm gonna say position. Okay, so not position, I mean top. We're gonna put the top stuff there. So I'm gonna set it maybe 500 pixels. 500 pixels. It's gonna be down side, like down. Then I'm gonna say left. I wanna move it to the center of the page. So moving it to the center of the page, 50%. Now 50 is just like half of 100%. So now let's run it and see how it looks like. So now when you look at this, you see it's not really positioned at the center of our page. So for us to position it, actually it looks nice here, but if you want to position it, you want to be at the center of the page, I think let's leave this here. Leave this here. Then when we want to make it, um desktop mode, we'll move it towards the center of the page, because now it's not kind of responsive. It looks weird. So we'll move it to the center of the page. So let's leave it like that for the desktop. I think that is nice. Then we'll go to adding text or box shadow, whichever one you want to add. So starting with the box shadow. So box shadow. So box shadow, we have 0 pixels, because we want it to be seen, like seen. Let me put it black. Insert. So this insert simply means I want the shadow to be inside, not outside, like inward shadow. So when you look at your button very well, notice that there's a black kind of shadow. There's a kind of shadow you notice inside. You see it? The shadow is kind of inward, not outward. So that looks nice. So now the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to make it look kind of responsive, because that our button looks weird, kind of weird. So we'll put at media, so to make it look responsive. So we're gonna have a max, then width, yeah. So max width, when the screen size is 500 pixels. 500 pixels. Yeah. Then what I want to happen, I want my button, that's my first target. Oh shit. I want my button size, the width especially, I want the width to reduce because it looks kind of big. So let me set it to 300 pixels. Then I want it to I want it to transform, so I want to position it like center of the page. So transform, so I'm gonna translate, so I'm choosing translate X, so it's gonna be minus 50%. So let's check it and see how it looks like. So good and fine. So you can see the button is translate and transform and whatever, so it looks okay this way. So the next thing we're gonna do is that's our text. I'm gonna say text, sorry, text, what's wrong with me? Text shadow. So the text shadow, I'm just gonna copy that 0 pixels, 0 pixels, 2 pixels, and 6 pixels. Then black, because I want to be seeing the the text clearly. Without that, I'll be unable to see the text clearly. So I'm gonna close this, so that those errors will disappear. Now that's for my button. So the next thing I'm gonna do, okay, let me see whether my text look nice here. They look kind of big. So I'm gonna reduce them. So I'll have H2 here, H2. So H2 we have font size. So font size, I'm gonna reduce it to 1 EM. Then width is gonna be 300 pixels. Let me see how it looks like. Yeah, it's okay. Then H1, I want it to kind of reduce, so let me say font size, let me say 1.5 EM. So let me run that and see how it looks like. Okay, so it looks a little bit okay, but let me add something there too. So margin, the margin bottom, so margin bottom, I want it to be 0 because I don't know where the space is coming from. Okay, then under the H1 margin top, I'll set it to 0. Close the be kind of close to each other. Yeah, so this is okay. So you see, you can only move like this, so you can't change anything, like it won't overlap to the other side. So now, as you can see, um this effect looks nice and you can use it on your web page. You can add other things there. So thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more videos and for more inspiration. And thank you for also being there for me. Please, I'm begging you, please, please, please like and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you and God bless you.